that feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Nah, this game's not over. Just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. I'm AJ Jones, and it is ready to go. Winning Wednesday. And, man, I got a lot I want to talk about today. Don't have a whole lot of time to do it, so I'm going to hit it and quit it, and we'll go from there. But, man, we are live in the JM&E studios, and want to shout out to everybody checking us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and, of course, Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. All right, so on Winning Wednesday today, I want to talk about a couple of things. Number one, I want to talk about NBA free agency. I want to talk about NBA free agency because there's still a couple of big names out there, or serviceable names, or, what have you. But, I want to get to it. So it's interesting to me that the top 10 rated free agents for this season all decided to stay with their own team. They all decided to stay with the team they were currently with. Number one rated free agent for this, go around was Kyrie Irving. What did he decide to do? He met with a lot of people, reportedly, but he decided to sign back with the Dallas Mavs and got the Dallas fans thinking that they are going all the way. So good for them. Kyrie decided to stay on a 3-year, $126 million deal. And then Chris Middleton from Milwaukee opted out of the final year of his player option and decided to stay right there in Milwaukee on a 3-year, $102 million deal. Fred VanVleet is the only exception in the top 10 that got out of there. Fred VanVleet got out of Toronto, got out of Canada, Canada, and is coming down here to the hot heat of Houston on a 3-year, $130 million deal. But everybody else stayed right there. Number 4, Draymond Green staying with Golden State, 4 years, $100 million. 5, Jeremy Grant staying with Portland on a 5-year, $160 million deal. A lot of folks feel like Dame Dollar got that deal for him. Number 6, Brook Lopez, not coming to Houston. It's going to stay right there in Milwaukee on a 2-year, $48 million deal. Kyle Kuzma, highly sought after in Washington, staying in Washington on a 4-year, $102. 4-year, $102 million deal. Jakob Poeltl, going to stay in Toronto. He was formerly with the Spurs, got sent up there to Toronto. He's staying put on a 4-year, $80 million deal. Austin Reeves, Laker fans are wiping the brow because he is going to stay in La La Land on a 4-year, $56 million deal. Cam Johnson, going to stay in Brooklyn. 4-year, $108 million deal. And that's the top 10. Now, at number 11, Bruce Brown leaving the defending Denver Nugget championship team, and he is going to LA was interested, but he's going to Indiana, going to hang out with the Pacers on a 2-year, $45 million deal. A lot of talk about D'Angelo Russell and how he was going to get shipped off for peanuts by the Lakers, and they would take back anything for him. Well, guess what? He's going to stay in La La Land as well as Austin Reeves on a 2-year, $37 million deal. So all of a sudden, that backcourt looking pretty nice in LA. Christian Wood still has not decided where he's going to go. He's rated at number 13. He's unrestricted, so there's a chance he can end up somewhere where they need some big man help. And then at number 14, Russell Westbrook going to stay with the LA Clippers on a 2-year, $8 million deal. Yeah, big pay cut for him. But the dude has made a ton of money, and he's betting on himself. He's betting on himself on this 1-year deal. So we'll see. 2-year deal. Dylan Brooks. Memphis said they weren't going to bring him back. He's found a home. Just happens to be down here in Houston. I don't know how I feel about that. We don't need nobody running their mouth down here. We need somebody who can play. We need some players. So if you're going to be running your mouth, but if you're going to come in as a player and make some things happen, then welcome to Houston. Again, if you just go talk that noise, I poked the bear and I'm not scared of LeBron. He's old. Then keep that in Memphis, bro. Keep that in Memphis. But anyway, he's down here on a 4-year, $80 million deal. Max Strus, who got exposed in the NBA Finals, Nice little player, but man, you are the weakest link. Max Strus is leaving Miami, and he is on his way to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Willie Gibson, he's all yours now, bro. He's all Ben Sutter III, BS3. We're rocking with him and the good folks on ROKU TV, courtesy of that. Yeah, Dylan Brooks got paid too, but he better close his mouth and just ball. Now, I'm not telling him to shut up and just play. I'm not saying that because if he's got something he wants to get out there on his platform, he wants to take social justice stand or whatever deems important to him. That's one thing. I'm talking about. I'm not afraid of LeBron. I poked the bear. He's old. Da da da. I'm talking about that nonsense. If he's coming down here with that nonsense, bruh, win something. Somebody told me on one of the other stations that I provide sports for earlier today that Pat Bev is on his way to Philly to play with Daryl Morey. I hadn't paid attention to that, but I made the comment like, what has any team won with Pat Beverly on them? What has any team won with Pat Beverly on the team? I just remember what Russell Westbrook, man. This dude's got y'all fooled, running around acting like he's playing defense, ain't doing a doggone thing. So anyway, Dylan Brooks is more closer to that right now than he is to a player. So I hope he comes in and establishes himself as a player. Ben Sutter III, I agree. Let your play do the talking this year. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, man. I got people calling me. I don't want to talk to them, and they all up in my stuff. So anyway, let me block them. I haven't asked for callers yet, so don't be trying to call in until I do. All right, let me get that off. Bang. All right, where were we before I got rudely interrupted? All right, Max Strus. Dante DiVincenzo is a nice little player. Did pretty well for Golden State last year. This year, he is on his way to the New York Knicks on a 4-year, $50 million deal. 4-year, 50. Herb Jones going to stay in New Orleans. He was rated number 18. Gabe Vincent, now that's a big pickup for the Lakers, leaving the Miami Heat and going to run that in that backcourt. Gabe Vincent, nice little pickup for the Lakers. Got him on a 3-year, $33 million deal. Rui Hachimura going to stay in L.A. on a 3-year, $51 million deal. Kelly Oubre has not decided what he wants to do just yet. He's sticking there. He's unrestricted. P.J. Washington is restricted. He has not made a decision. Karis LeVert going to stay in Cleveland. 2-year, $8 million deal, that Russell Westbrook deal. Grant Williams, who did all that talking with Jimmy Butler and ended up getting sent home. Doesn't have a home just yet. He's restricted. Probably going to end up back there in Boston. Who else did I forget? Seth Curry leaving Brooklyn, going back to the Mavs. And I know they're going to be glad to have him. 2-year, $8 million deal for him. Mason Plumlee going to stick with the Clippers. And again, he was highly sought after, but he decided to stay on a 1-5. Dennis Schroeder leaving the Lakers. A lot of guards in the house at LA. Schroeder going north of the border to Toronto on a 2-year, $26 million deal. Eric Gordon, former Rocket, leaving the Clippers, going to the Phoenix Suns, reportedly agreed to a deal. Don't have the numbers on him. Josh Richardson leaving the Pelicans, going to the Miami Heat. See what they get out of him. Jalen McDaniels leaving Philadelphia, on his way to Toronto. Kobe White staying in Chicago on a 3-year, $33 million deal. Let's see who else is of note. Torian Prince leaving the Timberwolves, going to the LA Lakers, 1-year, $4.5 million deal. Troy Brown Jr. leaving the Lakers, going to Minnesota. Reggie Jackson going to stay right there in Denver. Don't blame him. Trey Lyles going to stay with the Kings. That should be a good deal. Let me see. I'm going to just kind of skip through. Trey Jones going to stay in San Antonio. Damian Lee going to stay in Phoenix. Drew Eubanks going to stay in Phoenix. Joe Ingles leaving the Bucks. He's going over to Orlando. You know, that was a money deal. $222. 2-year, $22 million deal. Kevin Love going to stay in Miami. Cam Reddish leaving Portland, coming to the Lakers. O'Shea Brissett is leaving the Pacers, going to the Celtics. Jackson Hayes going to leave New Orleans and go to the Lakers. He's a very, very active big. See what he's got to bring to the Heat. Thomas Bryant, backup for the Denver Nuggets, is going to go down to Miami, the team that they just beat in the finals. See how that works out for him. Pat Beverly, leaving the Bulls, on his way to Philadelphia on a 1-year, $3.2 million deal. So anyway, that's what we got. Jeff Green leaving Denver, coming to Houston. That's going to be pretty interesting as well. So that's, just kind of a look at free agency. Now, James Harden has not been traded yet. I'm hearing, and I do have sources up there in Philly connected to Daryl Morey. I'm hearing Daryl Morey is going to do everything that he can to keep James Harden in Philly. Almost had a deal done down here in Houston. Then a couple of the young players, Jalen Green in particular, made some comments that, made James Harden feel like he wasn't welcome here. And James has got enough cachet that if he feels like it, doesn't feel like it, feels like it, doesn't feel like it, he goes where he wants to go. So I have a feeling he's going to stay in Philly. Just me. So let me take a break. I'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Excuse me.
This is a BS3 network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Talk Monday.
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. there is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
Years old and never been high, never been drunk, never worked a real job, only had sex with one man? Is this life?
You have desires to be met.
My desires are met.
But are they?
Savannah has a beautiful life, beautiful kids, got a hardworking husband.
That's scary. You had your marathon before you got locked down with your chocolate.
Mrs. Officer, come and tie me up.
So you're saying you want to end this?
No. I just want to be able to go on this journey without any type of restraints. You know, I don't want to think about you or the kids.
To finding me.
To finding Savannah.
Praise is the last thing Savannah needs, man. Are you putting in work? I put in work. I mean, are you really like, I know it's your wife and all, but when you catch it, you gotta catch it like you gotta.
Pop in that thing, okay?
Kinky. I like it.
And I want to just dance like no one is watching. And I also want to date.
I just got out the joint. I just did 25 long years.
I'm looking for a woman to pay all my bills.
Hold up, wait a minute, sister girl.
Oh, and I want to get into a fight.
Girl.
Let's go.
Let's go. Go. Shake your derriere. Move your body round, round, girl. Pip your hair. Let's go.
My name is JM&E, and I want $500 for the lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
All right, you can win 500s as well. All you got to do is participate in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Be starting in September 1st with the first regular season games of the NFL. All you got to do is get your picks in by the requested time and make sure you got more right than anyone else in the pick, and you will win $50 cash. You can do that for 18 weeks. You win as many times as you can win, and then at the end of the season, if you are in the top 6, you got a chance to compete for $500 cash. And I mean it, man. Somebody's going to win, like Jameis Jeter won, like Miss Pearl won, like others have won in the past. So, hey, keep it locked in for your chance to win. And whatever you're doing, not this weekend, but next weekend, be sure and be at the Cinematic Affair. Man, that Yo 40 looks hilarious. I'll be dropping some other clips of the other two movies that'll be premiering next weekend with the Cinematic Affair. Just go to bit.ly / the Cinematic Affair. Amen. All right. We'll see you there. All right. So we were just talking about NBA free agency, trying to see where James Harden is going to drop, trying to see where some of these other restricted free agents, unrestricted free agents are going to go. But let me switch over to the NFL, because, you know, they just had their draft and they've got some rookies that are now in the process of signing their contracts. Got some rookies in the process of signing their contracts. And I'm kind of interested to see how these are going to turn out. Trying to see how these are going to turn out. Let's see. Hang on. Let me make sure I can find it. Okay, wait a minute. I just had this and now I can't find it. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. First rounders that have already signed. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers, has not signed. Nothing on the dotted line yet. He will be the highest paid out of all the rookies taken. CJ Stroud for the Houston Texans, nothing yet. At number 3, though, Will Anderson Jr. for the Texans agreed to a 4-year, $35.2 million deal. And he's got a $22.6 million signing bonus. So brother got paid under this, this rookie cap. Anthony Richardson for the Indianapolis Colts, quarterback, has not signed yet. Devon Witherspoon for Seattle has not signed yet. Paris Johnson Jr. with the Cardinals, 4-year, $28 million deal. I make that $17.4 million in signing bonus. Tyree Wilson for the Raiders, agreed to a 4-year, $25 million deal, $15.1 million signing bonus. Running back Bijan Robinson out of the UT Longhorns on his way down to Hotlanta has agreed to a 4-year, $21.96 million deal, and he's got 12.97 of that in a signing bonus. Jalen Carter with the Eagles agreed, 4-year, $21.8 million. Darnell Wright for the Bears has agreed to a 4-year, $20.97 million. Peter Skoronski for the Titans agreed to a 4-year, $19.6. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back, Lions, nothing yet at number 12. Number 13, Lucas Van Ness, 4-year, $17.3. Broderick Jones at 14 to the Steelers agreed. 14, make that 4-year, $16.6 million. Nothing at 15, nothing at 16, nothing at 17. At 18, Jack Campbell of the Lions agreed to a 4-year, $14.7. Kalijah Cansey for the Buccaneers agreed to a 4-year, $14.4. Jackson Smith Njigba going to Seattle and has already agreed to a 4-year, $14.4 million deal. Quentin Johnson to the Chargers, 4-year, $14.18. Zay Flowers to the Ravens, good kid, 4 years, $14 million even. Jordan Addison to the Vikings, 4-year, $13.7. Deonte Banks to the Giants, agreed to a 4-year, $13.57. Dalton Kincaid to the Bills, agreed, 4-year, $13.25. Maisie Smith, Cowboys, agreed to a 4-year, $13.27. Anton Harrison, Jaguars, agreed to a 4-year, $13.2. Miles Murphy to the Bengals, welcome to the jungle, 4-year, $12.6. At number 29, Brian Breezy to the Saints, 4-year, $12.2. Nolan Smith to the Eagles at 30, 4-year, $11.9. And at number 31, Felix Anundike Uzoma to the Chiefs, 4-year, $11.8. So out of the top 31, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 who have not signed an agreement just yet. Thing about it is you want them to sign as quickly as possible so you can get them in training camp. Don't want your rookies who are expected to contribute year one sitting out, and especially when it's either Bryce Young, who's expected to start, and C.J. Stroud, who more than likely will start. You don't want them sitting out. Anthony Richardson, starter. You don't need him sitting out. Got to get those deals done. While they are slotted based on where they were selected. I mean, Bryce Young is going to make the most. These other guys want to see where the person ahead of them is getting paid so that they can be right up underneath them. So little cat and mouse game going on with some of these young players, but hey, that's why they got agents or somebody representing them, mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, auntie, who's trying to see what's happening before them. But again, training camp is going to be opening up near the end of this month. I know the Texans open camp on the 25th. They start practicing on the 26th. So, again, they want to get that done before that time frame. Don't want him to miss a day of camp, especially with new head coach, new system getting put in. So we'll see. We'll see how things play out. So, all right, one more break, and then I'll wrap it up right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is A beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens Podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
No, we have to go. There is somebody in the house.
I cannot wait to see that one, man. I just love scary movies. I love sci-fi. I love the supernaturals and all that kind of stuff. So I'm all on that, especially with Malcolm Dwayne Carter being the writer, producer, executive director behind that one. I'm definitely looking for Yo 40 and Black and Gold. Again, all you got to do is go to bit.ly, L-Y, / The Cinematic Affair. Get your tickets if you're going to be in town, or if you're coming to town, come through on next Saturday, the 15th. I'll be looking forward to seeing you. I want you lunch breakers to show up in force, support these young creatives who are doing a phenomenal job. I cannot wait to be in the house. What's up, Erica with a K? All right, so let me kind of wrap this up. Major League Baseball, Astros riding a 3-game win streak, even though they missed the start for Framber Valdez. Jose Altuve got pulled from the starting lineup before the game yesterday, I should say. And they've quietly won 3 in a row. Plus, they took 3 out of 4 from the first place Texas Rangers. They're now only 3 games back heading into the All-Star break. So we'll see if the Astros can make it happen. Now, the Astros don't have any starters in this season's All-Star game. In fact, the Rangers have about 4. Astros don't have any, even though they're the defending World Series champ. In fact, American League starters at catcher going to be from the Rangers. Jonah Heim at first base. Yandy Diaz from the Rays. Second base is Marcus Semien from the Rangers. At third base, it'll be Josh Jung from the Rangers. Shortstop, Corey Seager from the Rangers. Boy, if the Rangers don't win it all this year, that's going to be phenomenal. All that's going to be phenomenal. Outfielder, you got Aaron Judge, Yankees, injured, will not play. Mike Trout got injured last night. Don't know if he's going to play. Also, Randy Arozarena from the Rays. Designated hitter Shohei Ohtani. A lot of folks just going to see him. He's not going to pitch. Had a blister on his finger yesterday. He's not going to pitch in the World Series, but he will DH. And then manager, of course, will be Dusty Baker. On the National League side, catcher is going to be Sean Murphy from the Braves, from Atlanta. First baseman, Freddie Freeman, used to be in Atlanta, now with the Dodgers. He's going to the All-Star game starting for the Dodgers at first base. Second base will be Luis Arez from the Marlins. Third base, Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals. Shortstop will be Orlando Arcia from Atlanta. Of course, Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be in that outfield for Atlanta. Outfielder Mookie Betts, my favorite player in the league right now, not named Yordan Alvarez. Love that dude, man. Love Mookie Betts. Also, outfielder will be Corbin Carroll from the Diamondbacks. DH will be J.D. Martinez from the Dodgers. Manager will be Rob Thompson from Philadelphia. So it's going to be interesting. I love Major League Baseball's exhibition. I didn't like when they tried to make it so meaningful that the losing team or the winning team would have home field advantage throughout the World Series, but I do enjoy the game. I enjoy the home run derby. I enjoy the skills competition. I enjoy the game for the Major League Baseball All-Star game. So, all right, I think I've said and done all I'm going to say and do today. Y'all be sure and tune in tomorrow for another Houston Round Ball Review takeover. Chris Gardner, Houston Round Ball Review, and his crew get it done. I'll be back for Freestyle Friday. And if you didn't get a chance to check out Mondays, Johnny Cole's HBCU Stroll, I filled in for Coach Cole with a very special guest. I want y'all to tune into her. Nikki Berry, phenomenal HBCU grad, just literally had to pull herself up out of some bad situations and is doing quite well for herself. Check out that show from Monday. Again, I think it's a compelling show. We got into it, man. We got into it, not into it with each other, into it about the different things that have transpired over the last couple of weeks. So as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There is nothing you can do about it. So tune in tomorrow for the HBCU takeover. Y'all be blessed. We will talk to you then.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Wednesday, getting over that hump of a holiday-shortened week, July 5th, 2023. Number 1. Mass shootings in Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Fort Worth, Texas have claimed the lives of at least 10 people ahead of the 4th of July holiday, according to officials. President Joe Biden condemned the violence and renewed his calls to tighten America's lax gun laws. There have been over 340 mass shootings so far in 2023 in this country, according to the data collected by the Gun Violence Archives, which defines a mass shooting as an incident in which at least 4 people are shot, excluding the shooter. Number 2. Actor Hill Harper, known for his role in The Good Doctor most recently, is finalizing plans to launch his Senate campaign in the coming weeks to challenge Democratic favorite Alyssa Slotkin for a Michigan seat. He's expected to run to the left of Slotkin, a moderate 3-term Democratic House member who represents a swing district and already has had a head start when it comes to her $2.3 million war chest. His allies believe Harper, who is African American, will be able to build a coalition that includes progressive and black voters, and that his history serving on President Barack Obama's cancer panel and his ties to well-heeled potential donors in Hollywood will help his campaign as well. Number 3, you and I have been doing everything right to drop those pounds, yet the scale is not budging. The What You Need to Know newsletter, along with Black Health Matters, gives you reasons why you may not be losing those pesky pounds, including eating unhealthy, healthy foods and mindless nibbling. And then there's that stress. Number 4, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign reposted a video that all but called for the extermination of trans people. The video reflects DeSantis' campaign strategy, staking out a lane to the right of former President Donald Trump on major culture war issues. The video celebrates DeSantis' zealotry by quoting headlines and clips of pundits criticizing DeSantis, referring to him producing some of the harshest, most draconian laws that literally threaten trans existence. Number 5, Elle Reagan has been missing from Northfield, Minnesota since June 19, 2022. Police began the investigation when they discovered the body of her mother, Lisa Wade. Investigators say Wade died by suicide, and they suspect she was involved in her daughter's disappearance. The now 7-year-old Elle weighs 45 pounds and has brown hair. Anyone with information about Elle's disappearance, please go to the Black and Missing Foundation website. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Let's all work on being deserving of the good that we receive. Inhale goodness. Exhale the bad. Get out, scoot. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian extraordinaire Myra J., Stephen Hill, and LGBTQ activist Quinn Townsend Riley as we discuss top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
Hey.
Hey, Coach. I'm ready to be worked.
You the trainer?
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.